Good afternoon, everybody. And thank you for joining us for this afternoon's online Q&A for the Toolkit for Veteran-Friendly Institutions. My name is Meg Mitchum. I am the Director of Veterans Programs here at the American Council on Education. We are incredibly excited to have you this afternoon. A few quick housekeeping notes before I get started going over the new Toolkit. We are recording this, and both the archived version and the written version of the FAQs from the transcript will be available on the Toolkit's About the Toolkit section in a couple of weeks once we get everything sorted through. In addition, we are testing some fun new technology this afternoon, and we really appreciate you all being patient with us. We are going to use the raised hand feature to ask questions this afternoon. What you ought to be able to see on the right-hand side of your screen is a participants list. You should be able to highlight your name, and underneath that, select the raised hand button. We'll raise your hand and let myself and the moderator know that you have a question, which you may ask at any time during the presentation, and I will be happy to answer it. And we will unmute you and give you the opportunity to ask your question of the group so I can demo the answer. This, however, does require that you have called in and entered your attendee ID when calling into the teleconference. If you're unsure if you've done that, I can tell you there are about 20 of you who have not. I would ask that you please use the Info tab on your upper left-hand screen, find your attendee ID. Then head and dial the 877 number you see on your screen currently, enter access code, and then enter your attendee ID. This will allow technology to work, and this will allow you to ask questions of us this afternoon. If for some reason you're still unable to do that, no worries. We are going to continue using the chat feature for Q&A on the right side of your screen. You should see a box titled Q&A. You can ask your questions by typing them in at any point in time, and again, I will get to them as quickly as possible. I see people are still unsure if they can hear us. We're going to go ahead and get started, and if you can have problems hearing, please don't hesitate to call the technical assistance number, 202-939-9700. This is a really exciting time for ACE and our veterans programs here. After a year of running the Toolkit for Veteran-Friendly Institutions and getting some fantastically positive feedback, we started debating what types of additional features and enhancements we were learning that users wanted to see. You all may be aware that ACE's Veterans Program sprung up a number of years ago through the Success for Veterans Jam, the Success for Veterans Award grants, where we were able to grant $100,000 to 20 institutions across the country, and through a number of other programs, all of this sort of stemming out of the post-9/11 GI Bill passing and the implementation. We also do a series of research publications and, of course, host meetings here and across the country, hoping to learn as much as we can about supporting student veterans and how we can best ensure that today's student veterans are successful in achieving their academic and education goals. A few years of running these different programs, determined it was time for us to understand how all of the promising practices we were identifying worked together. And what we slowly started to learn was that the definition of veteran-friendly is a highly discussed term. And a lot of institutions were looking to understand what they needed to do to be able to call themselves veteran-friendly. At the same time, today's student veterans were saying, I want to know what I should expect from a school who says that they're veteran-friendly. What can I expect they'll be providing me as a student? So through this research and through listening to our members and the other institutions we were working with, we started identifying this set of promising practices. But what we were learning was that what works at one institution doesn't necessarily work at another, and what works for one veteran doesn't necessarily work at another. So it became very clear that we needed to provide a series of solutions that allowed schools to build programs based on their academic culture, their campus environment, and their particular student veteran body's needs. So we developed the Toolkit for Veteran-Friendly Institutions. Initially, this was intended to be an online learning environment where institutions could define veteran-friendly for themselves using a variety of resources resources that are shared by other institutions. It highlights real-world examples. You can search for promising practices, and you can, in fact, share your own success stories. This culmination of identifying all of these different promising practices and wanting to be able to share them so that you could use them. One from our users over time was that they were incredibly excited about having the opportunity to learn what other institutions were doing to share their own success. But they were unfortunately not feeling as connected to their peers as they wanted. And so what we discovered was that we needed to come up with a way for you all to talk to each other. And for you all to reach out and say, hey, I'm trying to do this. Does anybody have any ideas? Or, hey, I saw this great resource. How was it implemented? So that you could continue to dialogue that we had in the Veteran Success Jam, dialogue that we have at all these great conferences when we all get together and discuss what's going on. And so what we did was we reworked the toolkit. And I'd like to take the opportunity to show it to you today. This is the new toolkit for veteran-friendly institutions. We're incredibly excited about it. You'll see a lot of it is still quite familiar. It still has all the different tabs and the different sections across the top where you can learn what ACE has learned and understood about the program. It still has the section of shared resources where you can search for what other institutions are doing and see how they've implemented their various programs. I'll come back to more on that as well. We also have a new section, which is this featured discussion section, where you can start a discussion, you can ask questions, you can respond to others' discussions, and really talk about what you're doing and how you're supporting student veterans. And of course, we've continued to maintain our videos, and as always is available. We have a new section on latest resources, so you can quickly hit the home page and see what's recently been uploaded, so you can see any changes that have been loaded to the toolkit. Okay, so what are the updates and enhancements that you can expect to see? As I was just showing you, the section has changed a bit. Now, if you search for resources, you're going to be able to narrow down your search by using the filters on the left-hand side. So you can search for a key issue of particular interest to yourself. You can search for institutions that's similarly sized, the same number of FTEs. You can also search for public or private. And through this, you're able to narrow down your results to find something that specifically meets your needs. This search also allows you to search site content. I use a term I know is easy to find content on. So if you're searching for a particular keyword, but maybe you're looking for community resources or reports or something, not necessarily what an institution is sharing, you can search the toolkit site content and see what we've learned and how we've arrived at that. Your discussions. See the different types of discussions we're hosting, and if you'd like, you can change your keyword. Discussions. Once you get a term in that search box, you can click across all these different sections and find results that apply. I heard from users that they wanted to be able to separate this out. They wanted to be able to see the resources and then see the site content and see the discussion separately. So that's what we're trying to provide to you here. The thing that you're going to find very, very different when you log in is the dashboard. The first you'll note is that you're now logging in using an assigned username rather than using your email address. This allows you to change your email address and maintain your profile if you were to change institutions or if your institution were to change domain names on you. This is what your new user profile will look like, your user dashboard will look like. This will allow you to navigate through the different sections far easier than the old dashboard. You can see here's where you update your own profile. In the center is where you can update your institution profile. I'm not a member of an institution, so your section is going to look a little different. If you are an admin, you can manage your users by promoting users to admin status to help you. Here's where you can update your account settings. It's important when you first log into the Toolkit that you go ahead, you'll see all these, your profile is not complete, your institution profile is not complete. Go in and click these edit buttons. Whoops. Edit buttons for each of those sections. One of the key things that's important is noting that you need a site alias. This site alias is, as you're interacting on the Toolkit and you're posting comments in the discussion board and whatnot, using that site alias, that's going to be how you're identified. So it's not your email address, it's not your name, it's not your username. This is something that you should be able to select, and you can you identify yourself throughout the website. You can also change your password here. I know we've hit a few hiccups changing our password. Again, if you continue to have problems with that, please don't hesitate to email us and we'll get you set up. You'll be able to find your saved resources and your saved searches on your dashboard. Once you upload resources, you'll see a list of those and a list of what your other users have uploaded. Once you do that, you'll still be able to get that badge for your institution, and you can put it on use this code to put on your site. Update that we have is using the participating is how the participating institutions list looks. What you'll is that this list is now also has a filter where you can sort and look at different institutions that are participating, find some that are similar to yours. Other means system. So we have the University of North Carolina system and the University of Nebraska Central Admin, which have started sharing resources of what they're doing at the system level. You can filter this list down and see what your peers are doing, and also search by state. So if you want to see what from California and you want to see what other California schools are doing, you can use this to narrow that down and find some. The other really exciting thing that you'll start to see, and one of the reasons we really look forward to you uploading your profile information, is that you now have the opportunity to load your school logo and make that part of your institution profile. As you start to share resources and get on this list and you update your institution profile, you continue to have that institution profile page. It includes an overview of your program, a link to your program if you give one to us, and a list of shared resources that you're sharing on behalf of your institution. Oh, and on to some of our new features. Our really new feature is this set of discussion boards that we've launched. I know that it's August and that you are all just now coming back to school and probably have a lot of things that you're focusing on right now, but we are really, really excited about your getting to start some discussions. Tell us what you're interested in. Tell us what you're looking forward to doing this term for your students. How you're engaging your student veterans, and tell us what type of resources you continue to be interested in. We do want to hear from you. We do ask that you jump in if you have answer for this user on using credit towards nursing and other medical programs. Please jump in and provide a response. We're really hoping that this can be the opportunity for you all to stay more connected as you asked for. We do have an upcoming featured discussion series. The education director from VA will be kicking that off in late September. He'll be posting a discussion that will be highlighted up here on our discussion boards. You'll have the opportunity to chat with him and ask about what's going on with the post-9/11 GI Bill. Ask about that success program that's coming out. Ask about the new AmeriCorps Vista program that's coming out. All great partnerships that the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs is putting out for us. We'll follow that up by other featured guests from SAMHSA, from Department of Defense, from Department of Labor, from Student Veterans of America, from Service Members Opportunity College. We're really excited about all these opportunities. So please stop by, leave a question, leave us a comment, and we're giving away a pizza party for the top 5 posters in the month of August. There's still time, but for those of you who are one of our top 5 posters in the month of August, we're going to go ahead and give you a gift card to throw a pizza party to welcome your student veterans back to campus. So there, we're really excited about this. Of course, if you have any questions about what this looks like when you post, you do have a profile. Tom, unfortunately, has been on vacation and hasn't updated her profile yet, so this isn't a great one. About this one. There's. So as you go in, you update your profile information. This people will be able to see. You can select what you make public and what you don't. You can put a picture of yourself, an avatar, your institution logo, anything in that box. And this gives people the opportunity to contact you. You can see my email address is there for anyone to reach out if you have questions, but you have chosen not to make my phone number public. Looking for ways for you guys to be able to connect and talk to each other and interact and get these great programs implemented. That is a really quick overview on the new toolkit and its features. I'd like to do now is give you all an opportunity to either using the Q&A or the hand raise function, tell us what you think, ask any questions. If you've found something difficult to navigate or you haven't been able to find something you're looking for since the new launch, please let me know. If there's something you were hoping I would cover today that I haven't, please let me know. How do we know our username? Great first question. You should have received an email from ACE 2 weeks ago providing you with your new username and a temporary password to log in. If you did not receive that email to verify your account, please email me at stws@acenet.edu. This email address that's on your screen right now. I will go in and I will get that email resent to you so that you can get logged in. Yeah, Kennedy, please. It looks like you haven't been able to activate your phone ID. Can you type your question into the Q&A box for me? For Richard to type in his question, does anybody else have one for me? And on a person to be an admin for the college. Okay, Kina. So what happens is the first person who signs up for an account from your institution is automatically assigned admin rights. From there, anybody else who logs in has user privileges. They can still upload resources. They can still download the badge. What they cannot do is delete resources uploaded by a different user. They cannot update the institution profile, and they cannot manage the user controls, so they can't promote anybody else to admin status. If you are not the admin for your institution and you would like to be, you can reach out to whoever is assigned admin privileges. You can find them. I will show you. They will be listed under institution users on your dashboard. Oops, under institution users on your dashboard. So you can reach out to them. You can have more than one user who has created an account and all be attached to the same institution profile. More than one admin, if you would like, as well. More for me? Will be available soon. It is my hope that I will have it available in the next 2 weeks. I determined has actually been the heavy users of the vet-friendly site in terms of job function. I've noticed that it seems to be student affairs staff, mostly those identifying as veterans program coordinators or veterans program administrators. Morton, raising hand. Please go ahead.
What's the cost?
It's absolutely free. You can register for an account. This is a free service provided by ACE. In fact, it's been created through a grant generously supported by the Kresge Foundation. And they continue to support us throughout our endeavors in helping you guys all build your programs.
Thank you.
I've just been asked via the chat, the Q&A, will there be a follow-up part 2 of this webinar? I would be more than happy to host more versions of these webinars. In fact, what I think I can do is on the discussion board start a section where you ask me, you provide me with ideas on what you would like to hear webinar series on, and I will go ahead and get those organized. Will that work for you, Lisa? On faculty, absolutely. Can you jump on that discussion board and tell me what particular, are you looking for faculty and staff training? Okay, I'll get that discussion board started. You guys can give me a couple ideas, but we'll start looking at something on faculty and staff training. Meanwhile, there is an entire section on the toolkit on faculty and staff training, and there are a number of resources. In fact, let me show you. I'm getting here. Under Academic Services, Staff and Faculty Training, there are a series of community resources where you can find community providers who can provide staff and faculty training. In addition, there are a series of related resources, so these are examples of what other schools have been providing for their staff and faculty training. It looks like this is a military info packet that one institution is providing to staff and faculty. You can download that and determine how you might be able to tweak it. Dave, okay, so Dave's question, what do teachers and administrators look for regarding identifying students that have mental health issues? I think that would be a great discussion that we could have on the discussion board. ACE published a piece called PTS and TBI in the Classroom, Tips for Faculty and Staff on Identifying PTSD and Providing Accommodations. I think that the Association for Higher Education and Disability on that piece, and they are quite clearly more the experts on it than I am. Definitely provides some tips not only on what to look for, but how to work with that student to get them into the accommodations that they need without violating the ADA. It's located, hold on, let me see if I can find it here. Disability Services, Community Resources. It's a free PDF download. Do you see that? Please feel free to use that and disseminate widely. Lita, it looks like you might have another question. We'll get here. There we go. Ms. Morton?
I'm sorry. I hit about
No worries. I'm trying to make sure that I got all of those questions answered. We'll definitely get some discussion started on faculty and staff training, it looks like. And keep in mind that you can find and search all of these resources without setting up an account, but I do need you to register and create an account to participate in the discussion boards. There are a lot of opportunities for things to be flagged as inappropriate and for screening out of inappropriate comments, and we're doing the best we can, but we decided not to leave those open for the general public. So please go on, create an account, and you don't have to be responsible for any of those resources if you want to load one, but please definitely get in there and start joining the discussions. We'd be happy to keep these discussions going. Erica Gamboa looks like has a question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. How can you change the administrator if they left the institution?
Send me an email at stws. I will get back to that slide. What is that?
STW.
Send me an email at stws@acenet.edu. We will work to identify who needs to be the new admin and get everything set for you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
More questions for me? Any? Well, I really, this is my last plea, hope that you are all going to jump onto those discussion boards and start some discussions. It's really important to the continuation of Toolkit funding and getting people like Kurt Coy and Rob Worley to host featured discussions that we look like this is something we're definitely going to use. So my last final plea, please get on. Please start some discussions. Get yourself a pizza party. Thanks to all of you for being interested in the Toolkit. We are going to post some FAQs based on the questions we've asked and some other questions we get via the email in the next couple weeks, as well as an archived version of this website. And please don't hesitate to use this email address and continue to ask questions as you're navigating your way through the Toolkit. With that, thanks all for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you on the Toolkit. Talk to you soon.